What's up guys, my name is Shane and this is part 5 of the pronunciation practice series. If you haven't seen the other parts of this series, you can watch them in this playlist right here. In the past 4 videos, we looked at the basic sounds of the English alphabet and how to pronounce those sounds. In today's video, we look at the basics of sounding out words in English. Sounding out words means pronouncing each sound in a word so you know how to pronounce the whole word. For example, look at this word. We would sound out this word by saying k, at, cat. This is a very important skill to have in English because a lot of the time you will see words that you don't know how to pronounce. But if you know how to sound out words, then you may get the pronunciation right. Native English speakers learn this when they are children. So if you want to understand English like a native speaker, then you should learn this too. Okay, are you ready for today's lesson? Let's go. The first thing we need to do today is a quick recap of the sounds that we have learned. A recap means to revise, to look at something again. I will say the name of a letter and then I will say the sound that the letter makes. And I want you to repeat after me. Are you ready? Here we go. A, at. B, b. C, k. D, d. E, e. F, f. G, g. H, I, it. J, j. K, k. L, l. M, m. N, n. O, o. P, p. Q, qu. R, r. S, s. T, t. U, a. V, v. W, w. X. Now X can make 2 sounds. The first is a x sound, as in X-ray. And the second is a z sound, as in the word xylophone. Y, y. Z, z. We also looked at some extra sounds. The first one we looked at was TH. TH normally has 2 sounds it can make. The first is a v sound. And when you make this sound, you have to make sure your voice is on. Your throat is vibrating. And the second sound TH can make is a th sound. When we make a th sound, your voice is not on. Your throat is not vibrating. We also looked at CH, which makes a ch sound. SH, sh. NG, ng. And WH, w. Okay, let's have a look at how to sound out some very basic 3-letter words in English. Remember in the intro, we looked at this word here, cat. To sound out words in English, we make the sound of each letter and then put those sounds together. So with this word, we would say k, at. And then we put those sounds together and we say cat, cat. Okay, now let's have a look at some other 3-letter words. The first word, b, et, bet. The second word, t, it, tip. The third word, n, a, t, nut. And the fourth word, r-ot, rot. Now we are going to look at some more words. These words aren't actually words in English, but you should be able to sound them out. Number 1, p, a, b, pab. Number 2, len. Number 3. Gip. Number 4. Rop. Number 5. Man. Okay, we've learned to sound out some 3-letter words. Before we look at sounding out some 4-letter words in English, we need to learn some new sounds. A lot of the time in English, you will see 2 vowels next to each other. When we have 2 vowels next to each other, they normally make just one sound. But sometimes it's hard to know what sound these vowels make. So let's look at some common examples now. The first one is AI. AI. When you have AI, it normally makes an air sound. Air. For example, hair, fair, chair. AI can also make an A sound. For example, bait, gate, main. The second common example is OA. OA. When you have OA together, it normally makes an O sound. For example, boat, coat, goat. The third common example is E, when you have 2 E's next to each other. This sound normally makes a long E sound. E. For example, deep, need, teen. The fourth common example is O, when you have 2 O's next to each other. Normally, when you have 2 O's next to each other, it makes an U sound. For example, book, good, foot. It also makes a long oo sound. For example, boot, food, mood. Now please remember that these are just the main examples and the basic rules. There are always exceptions to the rules in English, and these vowels may make other sounds. Alright, now let's look at how to sound out some basic 4-letter words in English with just one vowel. The first one, chat, shop, thin, fish, and hand, coat, hilt. Okay, now let's look at some 4-letter words with the 2 vowel letters that we talked about before. Soot, lair, moat, Rome, pale, lone, read, root.